Black women, have you ever felt like you've been the caretaker for everyone else in your life? Like you've had to grow up way too soon, carry the weight of your entire family, and now you are left feeling emotionally drained with no sense of who you are outside of the roles that you play? Well, I'm here to tell you that's called parentification, and it's time to break free. In our exclusive membership community, Legacy Shifters, we've created an experience specifically for Black women just like you. Women who are ready to reclaim their voice, prioritize themselves, and heal from the invisible wounds of being the strong one for way too long. Through live workshops with me, Montina Galloway, a licensed therapist, and my expert team, plus a private app-based community of women who understand, you'll gain the tools that you need to set boundaries, to prioritize yourself without guilt, and create a life that's truly yours. Imagine a legacy where your joy, your peace, and your priorities come first. Don't wait. Join today. You'll save with our annual membership discount. Visit legacy-shiftersmn.co. Say it with me. I deserve this. Legacy Shifters is here to help you live it.
Good morning, Tori. How are you?
Good morning. How are you?
I am good. Welcome, everybody, to Restored Healing Conversations, where we keep it raw, real, and unfiltered. My name is Nani, and I'm the Client Success Coordinator here at Galloway Counseling.
My name is Tori, and I'm one of the therapists here on the team.
All righty. So let's talk about something a lot of us don't say out loud. This topic is going to be for my Gen Z, all right, my young people. What happens when you're the one everyone relies on, but you're in school or you're working, and on top of that, your family is depending on you while you're trying to balance it all, figure out your own life without burning out?
Yeah, and I think we should be real because no one talks about what it's like when you're the family safety net. It's a lot of stress, and that pressure, it's like really heavy.
Absolutely. And it's not even just pressure, stress, it's expectations too, like that unspoken kind, the kind where no one is ever explicitly asking you to step up, but somehow it's just understood that you will. And if you even think about saying no, that guilt we talk about, y'all, it starts to creep in.
Yeah, and it's like a common thing for clients to say that when you start feeling like if you don't handle things, that everything will fall apart. And then you start to wonder, like, if I don't do it, who will? And that question alone keeps you stuck in a cycle of overworking, overgiving, and putting yourself last.
Absolutely. And so, you start feeling like if you don't handle things, that everything will fall apart. Like Tori said, it's so true.
So, and they also say, I hear this all the time, that you can't pour from an empty cup, but what if you're the one holding the cup in the first place?
Exactly. So let's get into it. We see this often with our clients, people juggling school and work while still carrying the weight of their family's needs. And it's more than just finances. It's the pressure of feeling responsible for everyone.
And you don't just help out financially, like you're checking on your siblings, you're reminding your mom about her appointments, you answer texts at work because like someone needs something. So you're not just a student, you are the fixer, the problem solver, the one that holds it all together.
Absolutely. And so let's talk about that guilt, because there's always that little voice in your head saying, if I don't do it, who will? Or should be able to handle this.
And I think like the worst part is like when you try to set the boundary, you feel like you're failing the people who depend on you. And you should check out our last episode to learn more about the boundaries.
Absolutely. So here's the thing. You don't have to choose between your future and your family. You can love them and take care of yourself at the same time.
And the way you do that, it comes down to three things. balance, boundaries, and knowing your limits. So let's break it down a little bit more. How do you support your family without losing yourself?
All right, so let's talk about real ways to handle that without completely losing yourself in the process.
Okay. So, and I've heard this before from clients, but imagine a college student juggling a job and family responsibilities. So she's the go to person for rides and last minute help. And so the night before an exam, she's staying up helping her sibling with homework, telling herself, I'll push through. But by the time her test comes, she's exhausted and she fails. And so when she finally mentions it to her family, they just say, like, why didn't you tell us? And that's when it clicks. So in this example, no one expected her to do it all, but she assumed that she had to.
Absolutely. And that's a complex one because it's like, no, your family didn't explicitly ask you, but that unspoken
Mm.
pressure is still there. So a lot of things don't have to be said and you still get the picture, right? Like that's so real. A lot of us take on everything without even questioning it because we feel like we have to, because we have been in that parentification cycle where the pressure we're carrying is coming from that unspoken agreement between our family. And even if it's not coming from our family, it's coming from us. That this belief that, I've seen it happen. If my parents don't do it, it'll get, neglected. And so I step up as the eldest sibling or the more responsible sibling. And so that is just a lot of stress on somebody who is young and still figuring out their life.
Right. And so, again, like you said, oftentimes we assume that it's all on us, but sometimes the pressure isn't coming from our family, it's coming directly from us. So,
Mhm.
learning to share and delegate some of that load, it doesn't make you weak, it makes you sustainable.
Period. Because we're human. Like, we're not, a renewable resource. Like, we need to be poured into the same way that we pour into others. We need rest. And so, this is such a common cycle, y'all. And we convince ourselves all the time that saying no let people down. But in reality, setting boundaries doesn't mean you don't care about your family. It means you can actually show up in a way that doesn't leave you completely drained so that you can take that test and know that you're going to pass.
Yeah. And then, like we were saying earlier, like the guilt creeps in. And honestly, that's just your brain adjusting to a new reality where you matter too. So it's not that you're abandoning your family by protecting your energy. You're making sure that you have something left to give.
And same goes for money, y'all. Like when you're constantly helping out, it's easy to feel like your paycheck is never really yours. But think of it like this: imagine your income is a plate of food. If you give it all away, you're going to be starving. But if you set some aside for yourself first, you will actually have more to share in the long run.
Yes. And let's not forget about self care. And not just like, you know, getting your nails done, going to get your hair done. It's also like emotional self care, spiritual self care. A lot of times I hear clients say that they don't have time for self care, but think of it as like 5 to 10 minutes, just something that's for you, whether it's music, it could be journaling, sitting in silence. It can remind you that you exist beyond what you do for others. You're not just a student, you're a worker or a provider. You're a whole person.
Absolutely. So let's talk about money a little bit more because when your family depends on you, it's easy to feel like every dollar you make is already spent.
So again, just going back to what you're saying, like thinking of it as you're a plate of food. So if you're constantly pouring into everyone, or like even a car with like gas, if you're constantly in the driver's seat driving all of the time, you're going to run on empty. And if you're not filling back up, you're going to be drained and burnt out. But if
Mm-hmm.
you take care of yourself first, you'll have enough to share. Because you have to think, when you are burnt out, are you showing up as your best self for other people?
Mm-hmm.
Or are
Absolutely.
you, yeah,
Yeah. And, that doesn't make you selfish by prioritizing yourself first before helping others. Because, like Tori said, we have to show up as our best self before we can extend that helping hand.
right. Um, so at some point, I have had clients who were working and going to school and taking care of their siblings. And so most of the time, I just ask, like, when is the last time you did something for yourself? And a lot of the times they say that when they're juggling that, those, like being a sibling and being a caretaker, that they don't have time. But again, just starting with just 10 minutes a day. Because when you're always in survival mode, you forget that, like, what joy feels like. In your life, it's more than just making the next deadline.
Absolutely. And, 10 minutes could literally just be a walk, y'all. Like, during your lunch break, have 5 to 10 minutes off your lunch break just to go step outside and sit and close your eyes or go for a walk, meditate. It's really a non negotiable thing. You deserve that time for just you to do something that is only for you. All right, let's wrap this up. Today, we talked about what it's really like being the family's safety net, balancing school, work, and still feeling responsible for everything. We broke down that pressure, that guilt, and the unspoken expectations we put on ourselves. We also flipped the script on some of those mindsets because taking care of yourself first doesn't mean you're selfish. It means you actually have something left to give. So here's your takeaway: set boundaries, protect your energy, and stop running on empty just to keep everyone else full. You deserve balance too. And before you go, I want you to drop a comment or DM us with one thing you're doing just for you this week. I want to hold everybody accountable. So we're going to be responding to your comments, responding to your DMs. If you have questions, leave them in the DMs too, and we'll respond to them in our next episode.
Okay, so are you feeling seen after today's conversation? Let's keep this going. So I'm currently accepting new clients here at Myers Galloway Counseling, and I would love to help you dive deeper into setting boundaries, managing stress, and finding balance. So hit the link in the comments or video description to book your 15-minute phone consultation, again, because you deserve support that actually supports you.
Absolutely. And if you're looking for a community that gets it, check out Legacy Shifters, our online space where we heal, grow, and break cycles together. Because let's be real, doing this alone is overrated and it's not what we were meant to do. So join us and find people who understand exactly what you're going through.
And I want to thank you guys for hanging with us on Restored Healing Conversations. We hope today's topic gave you the clarity and permission to set boundaries, ask for help, and start putting yourself on the priority list.
Absolutely. So take care, Tori. Take care, y'all. Everyone, please recharge and remember you don't have to do everything to be enough. You are enough as you are, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Black women, have you ever felt like you've been the caretaker for everyone else in your life? Like you've had to grow up way too soon, carry the weight of your entire family, and now you are left feeling emotionally drained with no sense of who you are outside of the roles that you play? Well, I'm here to tell you that's called parentification, and it's time to break free. In our exclusive membership community, Legacy Shifters, we've created an experience specifically for Black women just like you. Women who are ready to reclaim their voice, prioritize themselves, and heal from the invisible wounds of being the strong one for way too long. Through live workshops with me, Montina Myers Galloway, a licensed therapist, and my expert team, plus a private app-based community of women who understand, you'll gain the tools that you need to set boundaries, to prioritize yourself without guilt, and create a life that's truly yours. Imagine a legacy where your joy, your peace, and your priorities come first. Don't wait. Join today. You'll save with our annual membership discount. Visit legacy-shiftersmn.co. Say it with me. I deserve this. Legacy Shifters is here to help you live it.